We live in a world today that's got us so focused on everybody else that we're comparing our life to everybody else's life. And really what's taking place is that so many of us, we struggle with this thing called FOMO, fear of missing out. The only way that you actually step into happiness and joy is when you put the focus on where you are at and get engaged with the thing that you're doing. I have learned over and over again that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react. That life is going to happen. And you're gonna set up a plan and you're gonna have a vision and you're gonna hope that it's gonna turn out perfect. But what so often happens in life is that things get burned and things go the wrong way. And it's in that moment that you're gonna have to choose your reaction. Are you just gonna look at the surface of the problem, or are you gonna get deeper into the problem and discover even in the problem, there could be a purpose to your pain and somehow God could use this thing? See, there's some people in this room right now that you need to hear this loud and clear. You need to get this in your spirit, because I don't know what you're walking through, but some of you right now, you are in a tough season. An event has happened and something's happened and maybe you have failed. But I want to remind you that failure is not final, it's formative.
If you can just keep believing when nothing in you is working, when all your external forces have given way, if you can just manage to somehow keep hoping, just hope. You ain't even really got to believe. All you got to do is hope. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. You just got to hope. Sometimes you ain't strong enough to believe, but you can always be strong enough to just hope. Man, I hope God come get me. I hope I make it. See, when they tell you, when you read the scripture and they say faith is the substance of things hoped for, what faith really is just hard hoping. And I just took that hope and just kept hope alive. If you can keep hoping, man, you have a chance. You just can't become hopeless. The devil is busy, man. The devil has one job. That's to rob you of your destiny. That's his only position in life. He don't care if you get money, a car, a house. As long as he can rob you of your destiny, that's the devil's whole mission in life. He just wants to rob. He just wants you to not be what God made you to be.
It's possible. Even when you have no evidence to point to, say to yourself, it's possible. There's nothing as powerful as a made-up mind. It's a struggle sometimes to do that, especially when you have people around you telling you that it's not possible, that you can't do it. And they're constantly pointing out your failures of the past, constantly reminding you of all of the things that you don't have going for you. What could you do? What could I do? What could all of us do if we did not have the naysayers in our lives? That we believe that it was possible. What would you do if failure was not on the table? Do you realize that 87% of people allow the fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed? I discovered that sometimes you have to believe in somebody's belief in you until your belief kicks in. So here's what I am believing for you. The goals that you right now have, the things that you have envisioned for yourself, this is a reflection. What you've done thus far and what you are engaged in doing is what's possible for you right now. But there's even more. You don't even know what's in the future. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard.
It is part of the process. It's part of the journey. Your failure matters as much as your success. How do you think you're gonna grow if you don't ever fail? Yet some of you have failed and you have decided, well, guess what? I'm a failure. No, failure is an event. It is never a person. Just because you failed doesn't mean that you're a failure. In fact, failure is actually fuel for your future. The way that you grow, the way that you advance. You have to fail in order to succeed. It's the fact that we failed. It's the fact that we got burned, that we even had an opportunity to pivot and to react the right way to even tell a story. And some of you in this room today, you need to change your mind because some of you are thinking about giving up because you're in a season of failure. But just because you failed doesn't mean that God doesn't have a bright future in store for you. It is always too soon to quit. Failure is part of the story. You need to hear it today, that it's forming your future. It's pushing you forward. Yet if you're not careful, when you fail, you have a choice to make. Do you have the right reaction or do you have the wrong reaction?
But if you can remain hopeful in spite of all adversity, like it was times in my car, man, I felt like quitting. I felt like giving up. You got to know, living in a car is not a simple task, but I just, some days I just said, man, oh God, I hope something happens. Come on, man. If you could just go to bed and just wake up tomorrow. Every time you wake up, that's a sign from God that he ain't through with you yet. He just waiting on you to turn and see what it is. But you gotta turn to God because he gives us choice. You gotta turn to him. You gotta ask for help. Like if you can't figure your life out, you gotta ask God, why did you create me? You just need two most important days of your life, the day you're born, the day you figure out why. You just gotta ask God why. You don't have to keep tripping. You really don't. Because he's your creator. He knows exactly why he created you. I just knew early on that I was born to be something special. I did not know what it was though. I was just living my life. I had no idea, but I had a lot of people along the way. You different. Quit hanging with them.
If you believe in yourself, if you constantly remind yourself after every defeat, after every setback, every time you get knocked down, I've got a saying, if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. You will fail your way to success. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how many times people tell you that you can't do it. It doesn't matter if you don't have a dime in the bank. You will fail your way to success. What's very important is you're believing in yourself. You're constantly saying, somehow, some way, I'm going to make it.